Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Professor John Gotti was randomly selected for a drug test because he didn't wear sleeves for today's show. Yes, Doc, similar to Myles Garrett, who had to take a drug test after Sunday's game. Are you kidding me?
I'm surprised they didn't test a few people. I mean, think about it. Week 1, we had a person with 5 sacks. I think I told somebody yesterday. Yeah, Chandler Jones. I think I told somebody the other day. I'm actually surprised that they haven't tested Tom Brady for PEDs.
They're not gonna. I mean, he talked about his TB12 program all the time. They ain't gonna do it to a quarterback.
Listen, TB12 literally could just be code for PEDs.
TB12 could be cocaine. Well, let's not put that out there.
Let's not do
that. We don't do trash reporting. But yes, that's the reason why I am rocking the NWO. Because of Myles Garrett being randomly selected to.
But it's not like it's not like you've never seen his arms. I mean, if you go on his YouTube, you see him work out.
It's just ridiculous, though.
Yeah, he works out. Now, I will say this because I was watching. Was it the Jets? It was the Jets. Their first flight show on YouTube, which is awesome. If you're a fan of your team, I'm pretty sure they have a YouTube channel dedicated for those. But one of their players, I forget who it was. I think it was one of the defensive players for sure. But he said, "Oh, you know what? It wasn't. It wasn't. It was on How Did I Spend My First $1 Million? That's what it was." And it was the guy from the 49ers. And he said, it's hard to keep that off-season body, that off-season definition. So it's like he had to invest $40,000 into his home studio, like his home gym. It's so funny because I always go sleepless. I always go sleepless. So it's just so funny. But he talked about how he had to make sure that he had equipment at his home because it's hard to continuously get in a good workout. So I'm assuming Myles Garrett, I know, works out on a regular. I know they have to go through their practice, and football players, they do football all day. You got film, you got workouts, you got individual drills, and you got more meetings, and then somewhere you got to eat because you have to get your protein in, right? That's what John Gotti always told me. You got to get your protein in. But Myles Garrett, come on. That's like testing Aaron Donald. Like, you've seen Aaron Donald. That's like testing James Harrison. Like, you see these guys work out. They work out all the time. But again, based on what that player said, I believe it was one of the one of the pass rushers for the 49ers. I know for sure. I just can't think of the name of the guy. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, I had to invest $40,000 into a home gym to make sure I can keep my bring my off-season strength into the regular season. And now here we are a month into the season, and they're looking at Myles Garrett's jacked arms, the genetic jackhammer of Cleveland. But I get it. Shout out to
ladies and gentlemen, this is Debate Amongst Friends. I am the Professor John Gotti, the King of RNG, the Troll Master, Data Analyzing Ninja, the Conqueror.
The 15th wonder of the world.
I am no wonder. The latest tragedy of podcasting. Yes, I am.
Oh my God, Jenny. Come on, man. That was a good one. Come on. You're the cleaner.
Yes. Best podcasting machine, least hype machine. That guy over there, the reigning, defending, undisputed podcasting champion of the world. The man who needs to get a ponytail like his boy Brock. Always tranquilo. And always for life. Doc El Idolo. How you doing today, man? I know you wasn't expecting me to do that.
No, I mean, again, anything can happen when the sleeves are off, right? Sun's out, guns out, right? Anything can happen. But no, shout out to you, man. Shout out to the Rockets, even though I know we weren't going to talk about it, making a trade to acquire a second round pick. I'll just throw it out there real quick. I was disappointed. I'll tell you really quickly. I was disappointed.
You're gonna throw
But
stuff out there. I mean,
you were disappointed. Go ahead. You can say it. Go ahead.
I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't surprised with the performance of my Yankees.
I just like the way that the media was like, Red Sox, whatever to the Yankees. It was like it just popped up on my screen like yikes. But it's true. I mean, the Red Sox went ahead and eliminated the Yankees last night. Octobre está aquí, which means baseball is here. World Series is just around the corner. It seems like it's gonna fly by, man. But I know even though it was expected, you always, like we talked about, you always want to go in with a winning mindset, a winning
Yep.
attitude. You know what I'm saying? So I get it wholeheartedly.
Well,
So shout out to you.
it was just a really really bad season. Like I know I talked about 13 win streak, but I did
Hmm.
that ironically
Right.
because I had a chance to speak with Senior October,
Hmm.
and he was like, "I mean, we have things that's going to happen." I'm like, "No, our relief pitching is abysmal." Um,
Hmm.
and Garrett Cole last night only pitched like 2.5 innings before he got yanked,
Mm.
giving up two dingers. Like you can't do that in a one and done game. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we're gonna keep the services of Boone, our skipper, but I think we need to go into a new direction.
Skipper. I mean, I agree. It Yankees have set a precedent. The Yankees have set a standard, and I think you have to uphold that. And I guess that's why this is a perfect opportunity, I guess, to segue into what we're talking about today, which is a standard. Um, and it just seems like this particular day and or this past 24 hours, not even, let's just say
It was 24
10
hours. It
hours.
was
Let's just
legitimately
say
like
12 hours.
just about 12. Yeah,
You messaged me yesterday and you said, Doc, the standard has dropped. The Cowboys have released Jaylon Smith. Because the standard is that a guy would get an extension and play at least, well into that extension.
of course,
But Jaylon Smith, who I couldn't even remember his freaking name, I was like, who the
which was
heck is that?
hilarious.
I was like, is he talking about Will Smith's son? What did he get cut
No,
from? You know what I'm saying? So, like, what did he get cut from? But yeah, I was like, why is he talking about Jaden Smith? Why the heck is he talking about Jaden Smith? Why would we care about Will Smith's son?
I
But Jalen Smith just gets the axe from the Cowboys, which I'm gonna be honest with you. I think prompted the Stephon Gilmore release as well, because I think with Jalen Smith, you have to pay him money.
yes,
Like when whoever acquires him, I think if you acquire him during the waiver process, like if somebody picks him up during the waiver, you have to pick up that contract. But if he signs after clearing waivers, then at that point, the Cowboys owe him the money. I believe that's how it works. Please let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. But I believe that's how it works. But then we have this guy right here to my right, Stephon Gilmore, getting released this morning, 7 something a.m. And I'm pretty sure this guy to my left, Tom Brady, uh, probably gave him a call like, bro. But of course, everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, come to my team, come to my team."
of
I think I
course. I
just,
mean, in
I think
fact, there's been what was it, Instagram post about Devontae
mhm,
David trying to recruit Stephon Gilmore, who can do a lot for that Packers secondary. Honestly, if you really think about
agreed.
it.
No, I think him and Jair Alexander would be
Well, Jair
phenomenal together.
Alexander just got hurt.
Oh, dang it! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Wow. Oh, then wow.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
trying to stop a pass in the flat and got rocked.
So this is what I would say. Obviously, the Bucks don't have a lot of money left, but you're looking at this Bucks secondary, and I've been saying it for the last year. Yes, we have these. Ladies and gentlemen, also just want to let you know, John Gotti has put the guns away. Guns are officially away. But I will say this: if the Bucks are able to pull Gilmore, even though he's not healthy right now, and I think he was supposed to come back next week or this week. I know it's week 6. I don't even know what week we're in. I just know that we're
Week 5.
week 5, so he's supposed to come back next week. But if we're able to pull him and pair him with Richard Sherman, and see if these young guys can get back, Carlton Davis, obviously, and I don't even know if they put that out, but Carlton Davis, when he came up, it kind of looked kind of how I felt when I ruptured my quad, but it looked like he was able to kind of move
Hmm.
forward. And I know for sure I couldn't move forward when I ruptured my quad. I had to walk sideways. But yeah, it was like step, sideways, exactly. All the way up. I couldn't lean forward. Like his the body is a weird thing, but you
It's
heard that
it's a
quad.
it's quite the phenomenon, the body.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, but I'm so surprised at these 2 cuts. Obviously, the Cowboys bringing in Keanu Neal from the Falcons, who we know is a dominant player. You got Van Der Esch, you draft Parsons, and there's another young guy that they really like. I think I read that this morning, but I can't remember his name. Um, and you look at this guy, and you're like, okay, Jaylon. I see Jerry Jones on Twitter and all these interviews. I mean,
Yep. And it
raving.
was Jabril Cox is the person that drew
That's
that.
his name. But I see Jerry Jones, double J, Jerry Jones online. I mean, just drooling over Micah Parsons, like over Michael Parsons. And if I'm a defender, if I'm a person on the defense, I'm just like, what the bleep is going on, right? Like, I know he's a rookie, the first round pick. I know we drafted him, but it's like, hey, I've been here making tackles.
Which is funny because a lot of Cowboys fans didn't even want him.
I didn't. They
Like
wanted
and oh how the tide has changed.
right, right. But I mean, honestly, as far as Cowboys, I mean, they took a shot on Jalen Smith, and I thought it was a good one. All right, they took a shot on him. He was at Notre Dame. He got hurt his senior season. They drafted him in the second round because he fell, obviously, due to injury. They took a shot and he paid off. So that's why it's like, okay, you give him the extension. But then, like 2 years later, you're like, you know what? It's not going to work.
Well, I
Even
kind of
though that
said that
first,
they have one of the best linebacking
you
core.
did.
Like
You
it's not the
did.
linebacker position that's the problem.
Honestly, it would have been advantageous of them. And I think that's the word of my year right now.
Advantageous. Yep.
Advantageous, yeah. It would have been advantageous of them to switch to a 3-4. Um,
I actually agree with you.
because had they switched to a 3-4, it allows you to number one, you got Michael Parsons, you got Van Der Esch, you got Jalen Smith. They had Lawrence, right?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Demarcus Lawrence. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of move those guys around and rush them in different ways. I mean, my goodness. I mean, those 4 linebackers on the field at the same time, or 3 linebackers. Oh no, because then you got the other guy that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
So you
Jabril
got you got
Cox.
yeah, you got these guys. You're able to kind of move them around, and but Jalen Smith gets released, right? I don't know. Obviously there's going to be names floating around. There's always teams like the Seahawks or the Chiefs or the Ravens who end up getting some of these people. Obviously, people like my cousin, my brother. They're like, "Oh my God, Giants, please, Giants, let's go Giants!" But linebacker isn't the Giants' problem.
Nope.
So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, where could he fit? And I mean, obviously he's still young. He's only 26 years old.
Hmm.
Um, but so somebody's going to get a really,
I
really good
mean,
linebacker.
he could go to a rival in the division, and it's
He
not the
could.
Giants.
He can go to that. He can go. I mean, Ron. Ron would love to have a player like
That's who
this.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ron would love to have a player like this. As you see, I didn't even go to the Eagles. I went straight to the
Nope.
ball team. But this is a shocker to me. But again, it's the Cowboys. I feel like they just love to do outlandish things, especially when it comes to money. But with Gilmore, I thought the writing was always on the wall. There's no way to get off that contract. He's the highest paid corner, if I'm not mistaken, in the league, or at least one of the top five highest paid corners in the league.
Yeah.
Um, and he's hurt. They knew they weren't going to extend him.
Well, they
Um,
was trying to extend them, but they couldn't
so it's
come to
like
terms for a
you
contract.
so you're trying to extend him, then you try to trade him, which again I told you is like, which I'm happy none of that leaked out until today when they released him.
Yep.
It's like once it's out there that we're trying to trade him, that's it.
That price
Uh,
go down significantly.
Significantly. So you got Smith, you got you got Gilmore. Obviously, two teams are gonna get some great chess pieces as we move to the middle of the season. I'm wondering if something else crazy happens, like I don't know, the Steelers release Big Ben, like something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the kind of week it seems like it's where we're headed. Like that's really crazy to me. But
Um,
what's also crazy is what you mentioned to me off the stream yesterday, and that's Urban Meyer being on the hot seat already.
yeah.
Now, when you told me this, obviously I made the joke, putting myself in his shoes, right? I was like, oh, I'm about to get Urban Meyer, but then I hear it isn't even really about football.
No.
Like, yes, it's about football, but no, it's not about football. It's becoming, it's about him getting a lap dance at a bar.
Uh, uh,
Because I didn't see the video, I didn't hear the audio. I just saw,
I
he,
feel
and
like
he
it's more than just that. Like I feel like people are gonna focus on that, but it was more than that. Like Doc used the term, the coach should never lose the locker room.
right.
I think that's what happened. And the lap gate.
Hold on, all right, don't you dare go any further. You stop right there. You stop right there. Don't you dare go any further. Did you just say lap gate?
Lap gate.
Hashtag lap gate. That's it. We're making it go viral. Oh my god. Let me put that down as a hashtag. Matter of fact, that's the official thumbnail for this show
No, no,
now.
no,
Oh yeah, it's
no,
happening. I put
no. Don't do that. Don't
Urban
do that.
Urban
Don't do
Meyer.
that. Don't do that.
Go ahead. Continue.
Anywho,
Continue what you were saying.
the image or viral TikTok or
Uh,
whatever it was
right.
seen all around the world was more of the cherry on top. Because there's been rumble. The fact that they was talking about him going back to college to coach after week one
So they did. I
spoken
kind of,
volumes.
yeah. I can.
So
But
anyone who think that the lap dance awkwardness that occurred is the reason why we're talking, no, not at all.
so I will say this, and I'm glad you mentioned that because as you so eloquently purchased these Nick Saban books for me, and I obviously I found another resource as well. I found another audio book, so I'm getting nonstop Saban. I got hard covers. I got an audio book. I said I'm gonna go deep dive into Nick Saban. So obviously we know Nick Saban came to
Getting those
the NFL.
Sabanisms.
I am. He came to the NFL, and I heard the story. This is from a different perspective from the book so far.
Hmm.
But the guy told the story of the inside discussion between Nick Saban, at that time the general manager of the Dolphins, which I can't remember his name,
Yep.
and the athletic director of the University of Alabama. So Nick did not want to go to Alabama. He wanted to stay in Miami and try to finish the Browns. He told the media, "I am not going back to college. I'm right
Because he
here. I
was
like it
building
here."
something with that Dolphins team.
Right. He wanted
They're
to
actually
try it,
really really good.
but inside he was having I guess, an internal dialogue about returning to college, and it was his wife who really wanted to go back to college because NFL wives, I guess, don't really have a place in football, whereas in college, it's almost like you're like the first lady kind of
Exactly.
thing. So, and raising your kids in Miami compared to probably Alabama, I mean, it's probably apples and oranges. I mean, it is what it is. But I remember him saying, "I don't want to leave because I know I just told him that I wasn't going." You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And here we go. You got Urban Meyer saying, "Hey, I don't want to go back to college. I just got here." And Urban really just got here. But we've seen with the Atlanta Falcons situation, right? I mean, that was really, really bad. Um, and I believe it was mid-season when the Falcons coach left. And
Yep.
that was I don't know why Brian Kelly came to mind. I know dang well it wasn't Brian Kelly. Um, oh my God, he went to UCLA. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? But it'll come to me, I'm pretty sure. But after that season, Mora, Mora Jr. That's what it was. It was not Jim Mora Jr. It was Mora. I know it was. Dang it, Johnny, Chris, somebody help me. uh, let's
It was
see.
Bobby Petrino.
Petrino? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even worse because whatever. Bobby Petrino. So Bobby Petrino, I swore it was Jim Moore Jr. for some reason. I don't know why. Did he leave a college team? Did I just throw Jim Moore Jr. under the bus for no
You might
reason?
have actually.
Oh God, I swore it was him, but whatever. But yes, Mr. Petrino left the team mid-season. I don't think Urban Meyer's
Jim
going to
Mora
do that.
Jr. was the head coach for the Falcons before Bobby Petrino, and he was the
Did he?
head coach from 2004 to 2006.
Ah, gotcha. Anyway, Urban Meyer, yeah, Urban Meyer probably should have waited and went back to college. Um, but I mean, I don't blame the Jaguars for taking this splash. I think if I was Urban Meyer, like I said, my first hire, like I would have done my best. Matter of fact, I'll scratch that. If I was the Jaguars, I would have went and called Joe Brady. I know he only had 1 year as an assistant coach under the Panthers and Matt Rule, but
Yep.
I would have called Joe Brady. I would hire Joe Brady, um, and we would have just had to roll with that young head coach because him and obviously, yeah, I would have went with Joe Brady.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
all I can
well,
really
and honestly,
say.
like anything could have happened.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So you're thinking it's more than just, hey, more than just Southgate. It's
Yeah,
losing the
he
locker
lost.
room.
He
But I
absolutely
mean,
lost the locker room. Like,
now, do you think it's the fact that do you think it's the fact? Because I mean, I've seen this with college coaches. Do you think it's the fact that he might have tried to instill that college
yes,
type of? Okay,
yes, that's exactly what it is.
gotcha.
That's
And honestly,
exactly what it is.
because and I've seen this, and this is what we
Like,
talked about.
you can't go into a locker room in an NFL team and try to be like, follow me, I'm the guy and all. Like, you got people that's been in the league, 5, 10 years looking at you like you must have been off your rocker. Like, this isn't like this is not how this locker room operates.
And real quick redaction, not Joe Brady. It would have been somebody from Clemson. I'm
Yes.
thinking Joe Brady for the Bengals. If I'm the Bengals, I'm hiring Joe Brady. For the Jaguars, I would have literally just brought somebody in from Clemson, whether it's as an assistant coach or a quarterback coach. One of those, I would have brought somebody in from Clemson to help me out. Um, But yes, and I think that's the issue also with Joe Judge, because I feel like Joe Judge is going full on Greg Schiano right now.
Yes. Ooh, I don't think that's something we want to get into. But real quickly though, because we haven't even had a chance to talk about it, and Doc done this purposely.
Wow.
We have not talked about the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, I blew it. I mean, I jinxed them, I cursed them, um the Raiders, right? Of Las Vegas. Really, really bad throws from Derek Carr after
It was a really, really bad second half.
we gave him so
Well,
much credit.
actually, it was a bad first, second, and fourth quarter, but they had a tremendous third quarter though.
After we gave him so much credit, for being such a good quarterback, and he came up and wet the bed. But also, it could have been that lightning delay that we talked about jokingly. Yeah,
No,
we,
it's not
we
that.
how do you have a lightning delay with
It's
an
not that.
indoor stadium, right?
That's disrespectful for any professional football player.
But also, I think this is a good opportunity for teams to really look at the Raiders and say, "Hey, if we get a lead on the Raiders, and they have to abandon their run game,
No, we can't
then
say that because that's how they became 3-0. They came back for each victory.
if we have, I mean, if we have a lead on them and they abandon that run game, and we're getting after Derek Carr, because the Chargers were getting after Derek Carr.
Yes,
He got hit a few times. I will say Justin Herbert got hit a couple of times also, but he was able to stand in there and throw some strikes. But also, I mean, obviously Austin Eckler ran the heck out of the ball. But it just didn't seem like the Raiders got a chance to actually get going running the football wise. But they're 3-1 now. Both teams are 3-1. That's a big win for the Chargers, right? Big win. The maturation of Justin Herbert is phenomenal. Uh, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do moving forward. Now,
absolutely.
you imagine if a team like the Chargers get a Stephon Gilmore, or a Jaylon Smith.
Oh, it would be a
Even
pretty big get. I mean, I think they have a really good defense, honestly.
hmm hmm
But
hmm
I just want to make sure we talked about this game though. Like
Nobody want to talk about that.
Doc's not gonna not sit on that L.
Yeah,
After he did all the other stuff in week 2 to me. No,
no,
week 3
I
to
get
me.
it. No,
Like,
I did.
nah, you gotta
I
sit
did.
on that L.
No, I get it. I get it. But Johnny, I know that people out there heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform, but if they didn't, they can always go to www.hardtimes. No, just kidding. www.debateamongstfriends.com to listen to this episode as well as all of the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we go over the Thursday night preview as well as those power rankings. But we're going to come back here tomorrow with all the news, the analysis, and the reads.